I'm sorry, Gary? Why did you go see him?
So I had invested some money.
Oh, Zach, seriously? Gary of all people?
It was in the very beginning when I first made bank. I ain't even know nobody. It looked like a good idea. And with all the stuff we got going on, I just tried to pull some out.
Man, now I know Zach is getting a lot of flack now, mainly because why in the world would you get involved with Scary Gary? He even told Fatima, hey, I ain't giving Scary Gary my money. And I believe that Zach was the one who coined the term or phrase Scary Gary. But he did say that this took place way in the beginning, and I'm thinking this has to do with their meeting on the basketball court. I can't remember. Was it season 3 or season 4? But I do know that Gary and Zach met playing ball. And from there, Gary offered some tips and whatnot because, hey, I have a company that could help you out, with some investments and whatnot. It's bigger than a bank, but, it could be a way, for you to take your stocks and whatnot to the next level. Now, the thing is, Zach may have changed his tune because he figured, you know what, maybe this is the next best step. Because remember, at the time he was working with Jake, who just so happened to work with Gary. Now remember, pre-Bryce, Jake was that dude. It just seems like in Zatima and then eventually Sistas, Jake was like swapped around with the character of Bryce. So when Bryce came into the picture, everything we knew about Jake just put Bryce in that scenario. And that's pretty much what we're meant to, go by. But I'm guessing that, as time went on, with Jake's great advice / Bryce and the fact that he was working with Gary, he probably figured that would be the best move. Put some money in the, Gary's company and have that invest. Now, it seems to me that Zach put in a sizable amount of his money into Gary's company because he is seemingly desperate for cash since a lot of things are happening. Zach is not broke. It's just the fact that a lot has happened in his life within a short period of time. He probably put a decent amount of money into the legal battle over the past 3 months to get custody of Michael. Now that he has custody of Michael, he has to pay for things like, therapy sessions and, upcoming school stuff. And then, the potential double child support with Karen and whatnot. So he's pretty much in a bit of a financial situation where even though he has money, so much is happening at once that it's putting a sizable dent in his bank account. So that's why he's like, okay, I got to pull my money out of Gary's company because apparently, Gary's been ignoring this dude. What do you say? 18 calls. So he probably has been ignoring Zach ever since Zach called him up back in like episode 2 or 3, whenever Fatima said, look, I got to come home. I came to get my different, shoes and whatnot because things are crazy at the office right now because of Gary and his shady ass. So that's when Zach immediately called Gary. So I'm thinking that all this time has passed and Zach has been ignored, so he decided to confront Gary face to face. So Zach gave the money to Gary, I'm guessing, in probably season 4 of Sistas. Now, some people are like, well, what about in Zatima season 2 when Bryce saw that his assets were frozen? Like what? The bank account for Rise Ventures and the money in his own bank account. And then Zach, he doesn't have money. See, if I remember correctly, they didn't give their money to Gary. Gary was supposed to be like the third partner in their investment in that one building Valerie was trying to push on them because Bryce was like, Zach, come on, we need the money because we put it in the pot. We're guaranteed to quadruple our, money from that. And Zach is like, I don't have that kind of money. Well, then Bryce went behind his back and pulled all the money from Rise Ventures into this deal because Gary said he was going to put money in the pot, but he never did. So, folks, Bryce was able to work that out and get the money back. So the money in terms of that scenario had nothing to do with Gary's finances. The only thing that had to do with Gary's finances was the fact he did not put his money into the business like he said he was. So from that's where Zach is right now. He's trying to get the money back, but he can't because according to Gary, that's not how it works. And I'm pretty sure he's correct. I mean, when you invest in a company, you can't just pull your money out. It's probably a process. And he does say he's not in a position to give Zach the money back right now due to the whole FBI stuff. But I do feel like, yeah, it is a process. You probably got to fill out forms and wait, because you know how it is. It's like when you go to a store, when you buy something, they immediately take your money. But when you try to return it, it'll take 72 business hours for it to get back to your account. So there you go. But yeah, that's why Zach did what he did. He put money into the investment company with Gary because he thought it was a good way of making money. But it turns out, well, things aren't as good as he thought it was. Also, the fact that he put the money in Gary's hands, it makes me wonder, did Zach's investment grow at any point? Or has the money just been sitting there and, Gary did some stuff with it? What's going on? That's another question I wish I knew more about. Like, did Gary help out with stock stuff? Could that be the reason why? Because remember, Jake was the one that, referred him to Gary to begin with. Because, yeah, I work for Gary at this hedge fund company, and you might want to move your money from the, that branch, the bank you, work with. And, you ought to just put in our company instead. We can help you out with stocks. So, yeah, Zach could be in some issues if he can't get his money back. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Zach just found out a bit too late about Scary Gary. So, yeah. But like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.